heard the first rooster crow this morning at about 4:39. I know this because I rolled over and looked at the clock. It was 4:39. I'm almost sure it wasn't the first rooster that made noise, but it was the first one I heard, and it's the one that woke me up. But that's okay, because my body is still on Guam time, which is about, Guam is plus 2 hours from here, so it's actually about 6:39 there, and it's past my normal wake-up time anyway, so I was just tired from the trip yesterday. I can't imagine how some of these guys are feeling. Well, I can, but traveling from the mainland or the UK to the Philippines, I'd probably still be sleeping through lunch. Well, many of my viewers might be thinking, wait a minute, he just got back from the Philippines and he's in Guam. Well, I was for about 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks, but there were some pressing issues that I had to take care of, so I just came back. Most specifically, some dental work. Over the last year or so in Guam, I've been to a couple dentists, and because I don't have dental insurance, I'm like a lot of guys who probably just put off dental work until the last minute. But it's accumulated, and some of the estimates I got were as high as $8,000 to $9,000, and all my dental work would obviously cost probably more than $10,000. The last trip here, last time we were here last month, I had 4 veneers, I had 3 molars pulled, I had 2 cavities filled, and I was less than $1,500 out of my pocket. The reason it makes sense for me to do this is because the cost of dental insurance, and I'm a cheapskate, the copays on dental are crazy. Just the copays alone would cost me more than my out-of-pocket cost in the Philippines, and that would include my round-trip airfare from Guam, which is roughly $550. And the other benefit is I get to come home and see the dog and the 2 cats and be with relatives and do some things around the house. One of my goals this trip was to get a couple questions answered through the immigration people at the airport. And I already knew the answer to one of them because we came here we originally came this last trip with Terry August 5th, I think. And we both got, the Balikbayan stamp on our passport. The privilege of a 1-year stay. Well, when we left here on September 2nd, that privilege ended, as I probably knew that. But so when I came back through this time, I asked the immigration guy, I said, look, I just came in on a Balikbayan, and I took my wife back to Guam, and I'm back again. He goes, is your wife traveling with you? I said, no. He said, well, you're on a tourist visa. So I got the typical, I think it's 28 or 29 day tourist visa, but I'll be gone before that expires. So I'm playing tourist for the first time in over 10 years. The other question I had was on the eTravel. The last 2 trips we made, last December and this last August, nobody ever asked us for our eTravel information or our QR codes. Prior to this, they would have, I know when the One Health Pass was initiated for COVID, and then it transferred or converted to the eTravel, there were kiosks set up at the airport, and you get off the plane, and before you even got to the baggage claim, there'd be a kiosk, and you had to pass through the kiosk, and they'd scan your barcode, and then off you went. The kiosks have been gone. So the last 2 trips we made here, not including this one, including this 3 trips, nobody has asked us for the QR code. So I asked the immigration official at the immigration desk. Well, how did I ask him? I says, does anybody scan our eTravel documents? He says, Poe, we have that in the computer right here. I'm looking at it right here. I was like, okay. And that's what I suspected, that as soon as they scan your passport, if you're registered, it's going to show up in their database, and they're either going to flag you or they're not. And there's only 2 health questions that are actually on the e-registration anymore, or the eTravel registration. And one is, have you been exposed to COVID, or have you been around anybody that's had COVID in the last 30 days, or them are basically the 2 questions. But the rest of the information on the eTravel is very straightforward. It's exactly the same information that you would normally fill out on the little paper thing that they give you on the airplane, and when you hand it to immigration, it's basically immigration stuff with 2 health questions. So that answers that question for me and for a lot of people, I guess. But in any case, I'm back in the Philippines, got my drone. I'll be here for a few weeks, get some dental work done, get some things done around the house, and design a roof for the new addition that we put up, which I posted that in the last Expanding Paradise video. And get some things done, and I'll be back in Guam for Halloween. See you. Oh, and I guess I should remind anybody that comes to the Philippines, don't forget the Pasalubong. Things you can't get here, like Tootsie Pops. And brought some chocolate covered macadamia nuts from Guam, but specifically the Tootsie Pops for the kids and for Apple Dog. Apple Dog loves Tootsie Pops. I was joking with Terry yesterday, saying that the next time we take Apple Dog to the vet, and the vet's going to say, wow, this is the first dog I've ever met in the Philippines that has diabetes. Don't take that chocolate one away from Apple Dog. Can I have that Tootsie Pop? Huh? No? Okay. Another day in the bra guy.